Hello and welcome to Yorkshire Voice. I'm Thomas Wotton. The headlines this afternoon on the first 1 year anniversary since the first national lockdown, we spoke to business owners about the impact over the last year. We'll also be going live to our Italian correspondent, Riccardo Trono, who'll be telling us about how holiday spots in Italy are bracing for a summer season devoid of tourists. 12 months ago, due to the day, Britain's hospitality industry was thrown into crisis after Boris Johnson effectively shut down the sector. Still today, our bars, pubs and restaurants remain closed. However, unlike this time last year, there is finally an end in sight. Our reporter Noah Hoffman caught up with one bar manager to find out what the past year has been like for the industry and what we can expect going forward.
Empty chairs and empty tables. 12 months ago today, bars, pubs and restaurants were plunged into a crisis they could have never seen coming. Prime Minister Boris Johnson announced the industry was to completely shut down, forcing places like the Pitcher and Piano Bar in Harrogate to switch off the lights and shut its doors.
1 year ago, I was actually working in Leeds at the time. It was a pretty quiet day. The weeks running up to the actual closure of the pubs were very quiet, and then come 5 o'clock, all four managers were all sat in the office ready for the announcement, which obviously wasn't what we wanted to hear. And it was pretty surreal, really. Within 3 hours, that was it. The bar was closed, and no one really knew when we were going to see each other again, whether our jobs were still safe and secure. And it was a goodbye for now, and obviously a year on we're kind of still in the same position, although intermittently we have been able to open.
The hospitality industry has been one of the hardest hit by the coronavirus crisis. But a year on, workers in pubs, bars and restaurants are hopeful that they can come back stronger than ever.
The future of the industry is, I think there's going to be a massive boom. I think especially with a lot of people not going away last year, there's going to be a lot more staycations still. There's still a lot of uncertainty as to whether people can stay abroad. Obviously, we're in Harrogate at the moment. It's quite a nice place to visit and quite a nice place to live. So we're never short of people around. I think it's going to be a really interesting summer, especially with the Euros as well going ahead.
Now, in under a month, on April 12th, we'll see the reopening of hospitality outdoors. And then on May 17th, indoor service can resume in places like pubs and restaurants.
Max and his team are looking forward to welcoming back customers to the Pitcher and Piano. But for now, the lights stay off. The bar's outdoor facilities aren't expansive enough to facilitate reopening in April. But come May 17, Max will be back behind the bar, pulling pints once again.
It's not just bars that have suffered during the lockdown. The fitness industry has also been impacted as they have remained closed for most of the last year. We spoke to Chris, founder of Implexus Gym in Leeds, about how the fitness industry has coped during the pandemic and how they are preparing for gyms to reopen next month.
We've worked, in the fitness industry, been open for 2 months out of the last 12. So it's not ideal at all. A lot of people are feeling depressed and anxious to get back open, but we are looking forward to getting back open. We've got a lot of athletes in here, so looking forward to seeing them get back in progression, prepare for competitions. Equally, we've got people that just come in for your average Joe, and being able to see them progress, go forward with their fitness journey. It's really nice to see because we're quite close with all our members. We know them all. They come in, say hi, everything like that. So it's just nice to see them again and be able to be how's it going, and see them move on with their journeys. We're hoping a lot of them are going to come back. Obviously, we understand that people have been made redundant, been put on furlough, finances are tough. So we understand there's going to be some. Equally, people have invested in their own home gyms, garage gyms, whatever it might be, or found something else that they enjoy, like running, cycling. So we understand we're going to lose a few, but we're in we're a tight-knit community here. So we're hoping a lot of people are going to come back. We're doing a lot more than a lot of gyms are. We've got spray bottles, we've got hand sanitizers, we've got a limited amount of people allowed in the gym at any one time. We're doing a lot to keep people safe. So I'm hoping people are going to feel safe in coming back, and then equally that makes some excitement to get back because there's the safe feeling. Sadly, independent gyms like ourselves have lost a lot of money. A lot of gyms have closed as well, just because they haven't been able to afford to stay open. But yeah, I'm really hoping that as like a country in whole, we're going to be a bit fitter coming out.
Today at 12 o'clock, the UK observed a minute's silence to mark the lives lost since the nation went into lockdown. It has been called a National Day of Reflection. Martha Sanders reports.
The 23rd of March. It is a day which might forever be branded into many people's minds. 1 year since Boris Johnson issued the announcement ordering people to stay at home, people are taking the chance to reflect and remember all the people who lost their lives to the virus. Prince Charles has backed this day of reflection. In a recorded message to the nation this morning, he said, "Whatever our faith or philosophy may be, let us take a moment together to remember those who have been lost and to acknowledge the inexpressible pain of parting." People are being encouraged to leave yellow ribbons outside their homes and plant bulbs in remembrance of people who have been lost.
I'm here in Millennium Square in Leeds, where this building behind me is one of the ones that will be lit up yellow this evening in remembrance of the people who lost their lives over the past year. Across the country and in Leeds, people have been reflecting on what this last year has meant to them.
Part of me feels like I've lost a year of my life, but then the other part of me feels like I've just coasted really nicely and not had to worry too much.
I think it's obviously been a hard time for a lot of people, but I enjoyed spending time with my family, kind of having a lot of time to reflect.
The fact that we're still here is embarrassing. I think our government could have done a lot better to handle all of this.
Across the city, the marks of the year that was still remain, reminding us that the pandemic is far from over. The emotional and physical scars many people now have may take many more years to heal.
As the UK marks the anniversary of the first national lockdown, in Italy, hopes of a return to normal life in the summer were short-lived. 1 year on, the majority of the country is locked down, and its seasides are devoid of tourists. Our correspondent Riccardo Trono joins us from Santa Isidora, a tourist hub on the Ionian coast in the Apulia region. Hello, Riccardo.
Hi, Thomas. I'm talking to you now from Sant'Isidoro. It is one of the many ski resorts in the area which are extremely popular with British tourists. Just think that prior to COVID, 1 out of 4 travelers were British, accounting for more than 26% of the total visits to this territory. Unfortunately, for the second year in a row, these holidays are not looking great for the seaside resorts in the south. The ski resorts in the north of the country, in the Alps, were already forced to stay closed during the whole of winter. And now, quite frankly, as we get into spring and summer, it is not looking any better for the southern hemisphere of the country either.
Riccardo, do you think that international travel, once it resumes, can be, in what ways can it be more safe?
There's been plenty of talk recently about the proposals set up by the European Commission of a digital green certificate, which will basically prove if a person has been either vaccinated, has tested negative for coronavirus, or has recovered from COVID. So there's going to be plenty of talk in the next few days about this. No, unfortunately, that the current legislation in the UK banning non-essential travel abroad has been extended, but we also know that on April the 12th, the Global Travel Task Force announced by Crown Shops will be reported to the government. So that's the point when we will know whether international travel might resume and how, most of all.
Thank you for that, Riccardo. That was Riccardo in Italy. And I must say that it does look quite nice from where he is. But we'll go to the weather closer to home now with Kitsy.
Well, it's been a bit windy here as well, although it's been mostly cloudy all day. Today's sunset will be at 6:25 p.m. and it will be cloudy and windy, with some rain moving southeast, lingering in most areas through the early hours. With winds easing overnight, rain will be leaving the northern areas by sunrise. So it's not looking too bad, Thomas.
Thank you for that, Kudsi. Tomorrow, we'll be back tomorrow for our lunchtime programme at 1 p.m. and 4 p.m. Until then, goodbye from me. Goodbye.